Today we're talking about tips that you need to know if you're moving to San Antonio in the summertime. Let's get after it.
What's up, guys? My name is Jonathan. This is Trevor. We're the Alamo City Living Team, and here we talk about everything that you want to know about living in San Antonio and the entire surrounding area. We're also licensed real estate agents here in San Antonio, which means not only do we enjoy making videos for you guys, we would love even more to help you with all of your real estate purchase needs. So the number popping up on the screen is how you get a hold of us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We would love to help you and your family make a smooth move here to San Antonio. And today, we're getting after it.
We're getting after it.
We're going to talk about these tips on moving to San Antonio in the summertime.
These tips.
What do you got, Trev? What are some tips that people need to be aware of when they're moving here in the summer?
Tip number one. Now, this kind of applies to late springtime, early summer, right? Preface this by saying, if you don't know, if you've never been here before, we have a very short springtime. So it feels like we go from winter directly into summer.
Right.
And that kind of sucks. I don't really like that. That being said, one of the main things that you need to be aware of whenever you're moving here during this time frame is allergies, right? And we've mentioned this in some of our other videos before. If you haven't checked them out, feel free to whenever you get an opportunity. But this location, for whatever reason, is so horrible with allergies, right? And right around this time of year, that late spring, early summer, they always start to pop up, right? Everyone's sick. Everywhere you're walking around, everybody's sniffling and sneezing, and it's horrible. Pollen's really bad. Cedar is bad. The grass count. I mean, if there's an allergy out there, you name it, it's probably located here in the hill country.
And mold.
And mold,
So
yes.
mold's a big one. And a lot of people, when they think about mold, they think about their house being dirty or something like that. That's not the type of mold that we're talking about. We're talking about outdoor mold spores that are in the air. They are, they're an allergen, and they bother a lot of people.
So that being said, if you have allergies and you're affected by allergies, or you're one of these people, make sure you plan accordingly. Take your Claritin, take your Allegra, take whatever you need to take to make sure that you are not going to be absolutely miserable when you're walking around outside.
One of the things also that you can do is check the pollen count. You can do that through the local weather apps or stations. You can also check pollen.com, and you can check, it'll let you know, hey, what the current pollen count is. So if it's a high pollen count, you just want to take it easy and stay home for the day, that might be an option for you as well.
Pollen.com, huh?
Pollen.com, that's right.
Simple as that, folks.
All right, guys, tip number 2, know your way around town. So there are 2 major highway systems that run around San Antonio like a circle. There's 410, which is a loop that runs around the city, and then outside of 410, there's a 1604 loop as well. And then you have some major highways that run through the city out to these loops, kind of like spokes on a wheel. And so it really doesn't matter where you are in the city. You can always get to one of the loops, 410 or 1604, or to another part of town. You've got I-35, you've got 281, you've got I-10. They all run through the city out to 410 on either side or whichever direction. So know your way around town. If there's traffic or if there's construction, which we're experiencing a lot of right now, then knowing the side streets and local roads will save you a lot of time if you're able to jump off one of these highways, get onto a local street, and then get back onto one of the highways somewhere else.
So tip number 3, with this weather comes awful weeds, right? Now, if you're like me, I love having a wonderful, beautiful, meticulous lawn, but I don't actually like keeping up with it, right? Sorry for you King of the Hill fans, I probably made Hank Hill very upset by saying that. Now, that being said, lawn treatment is super important, especially if you're moving to Texas right now. It's not like these other places like Colorado or these things where you have this nice weather just about year round. The sun is incredibly hot and it beats down directly on your yard, especially if you're in a new construction neighborhood and you don't have a lot of shade to cover your yard, right? So you want to make sure that, and there's tons of websites that you can do this on now, they offer lawn treatments, but you want to make sure that you have adequate lawn treatment and you're treating your weeds. Because
And
irrigation, lawn treatment, specifically the weeds, because once they get into your yard, it's like they spread like wildfire. Well, they spread like, well, weeds.
It's spread like a weed.
It's spread like a weed. Yeah.
Like weeds.
No, seriously, it's awful. You want to make sure that you have the correct protection for your yard. If you don't care, hey, great, lay some turf down, put some concrete, build a pool, whatever you need to do. But if you're one of these people who likes to have a nice yard for your kids to run around and play in, just understand that you're going to be out there a lot of the time maintaining and doing a lot of yard work.
Now, I know you can't tell, but I actually have a green thumb. You see what I did there? Mm-hmm. You can't. It's actually green.
Can't tell.
I've got a green thumb. We love the garden. So my wife and I, we love the garden. We've got raised garden beds in our backyard, and it's just kind of one of our things that we like to do. And the weeds are horrible there too. So you do have to do a lot of just care. You have to take care with your garden beds. And then you had mentioned insects earlier.
I did.
And so insects are also horrible for your garden beds. There's a lot that you have to really think about if you're wanting to grow a garden. A lot of people in our neighborhood actually grow gardens, and we got squash vine borers. Have you ever heard of those?
A vine borer?
A vine borer, these nasty little bugs that they burrow down into the soil, and they come out during the spring, and so you have to, just be careful with those things, and the weeds, they're a mess.
Well, with that being said, insects are another tremendous problem around this time of year, right? Here we have something called fire ants. Now, they're like regular ants, except a lot worse.
When they bite you,
it feels like you're on fire. No, seriously, they're everywhere too. Those suckers are about yay big. If you've ever seen Indiana Jones, the new one, when they pick that dude up and carry him off into the hole, they're about that size. No, seriously, they are big ants. There's also termites, and there's lots of different things that can get into your yard. And obviously, if you have kids, you're out there playing outside, it's something to be aware of for sure. Now, there are things that you can do to take preventative measures, right? To keep these things out of your yard and out of your life bite-free, right? There are mosquito repellents that you can hook on the outside of the bug zappers, the big old bug zappers. There's actually a mosquito repellent that you can hook on the outside of that will attract the mosquitoes to there so they can zap it. That being said, also, there's something called a Trex. I believe it's called a Trex. And what they do is and there might be other companies, but what they do is as they're building the home, they put this system inside the home to where it allows them to put insecticide inside of the home. It runs through the walls of the home, so that way it prevents the bugs from coming into your home. And also, if there are bugs that are within your walls, it kills them and prevents them from getting out into the rest of their home and prevents the spread. So insects are another bad thing this time of year, something you definitely need to be aware of if you're coming from, again, another state like Colorado or somewhere that doesn't have the insect problem. Just be aware of it and be prepared.
All right, number 5, last but not least, is plan your summer outdoor activities. There is a lot of things to do here in the summertime, and if you are wanting to do things around water, then you're definitely going to want to plan. There are a lot of things that require reservations, and they fill up very, very fast. Our state parks are extremely popular in the summertime. Great rivers, great lakes, great camping, great hiking, and they fill up very, very fast. And it's not uncommon for some of our popular state parks like Inks Lake, Garner, Palo Duro Canyon. These state parks will fill up for months, and you can't find reservation in there. So a lot of times you can book reservations up to 6 months out in our state parks, and I would highly, highly recommend you do that, especially if you plan on doing things outdoor during the major holidays, 4th of July, Memorial Weekend, and so forth.
Bonus tip, guys. Another thing that I'm thinking about right now, we had torrential downpour last night, right? I mean, it was atrocious. It felt like I was in a hurricane. I mean, it was pretty bad. Knocked out all of the internet lines as well as the phone lines in the area. My backyard was flooded. I mean, it was absolutely atrocious. Now, you couldn't tell by looking at the background above us right now. It is crystal clear skies, feels beautiful out here. So bonus tip for you guys, San Antonio, for some reason, this area in particular has super bipolar weather. In this early summertime that we're in right now, late spring, early summer, bipolar weather. You have to leave your house. Sometimes you might have a jacket on, a little umbrella, and then by the afternoon, it's like 9,000 degrees and you're trying to cut your jeans off into shorts. So just something to be aware of as well. Dress in layers, guys.
All right, guys, very short video for you guys. We just wanted to give you some of our top tips for moving here in the summertime. It is approaching and you guys are gonna be planning your trips. We've already been getting a ton of calls from a lot of you who are planning on moving here this summer. So make sure you take some of these things to mind and be prepared.
Yep, that's right, Jonathan. Whether you plan on moving here in the next few weeks or even the next few months, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love the opportunity to help you and your family make a smooth move here to San Antonio. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. you.